Well, thank you guys so much for being here and thank you for having me. My name is Jeff Bradbury from the TeacherCast Educational Network, and I am so excited to have you guys today to talk a little bit about web design. And what I'd like to do today is to kind of run through a lot of these different things. We're going to be talking about the 10 critical things that all successful and profitable websites have in common. I want you guys to do me a favor. If you are here today, and I know you are, do me a favor in the chat, say hello, let me know where you are, and most importantly, send your website links. Maybe you're here on behalf of a company, maybe you're here on behalf of a blog, maybe you're a content creator, writer, author, podcaster, whatever. We are here to answer all of your questions. If you've seen my other sessions or if you've ever done anything with TeacherCast before, you know that mostly what I like doing is just a big, huge session of questions and answers. So if you have anything specifically, let us know. And, guys, please feel free to stop me at any point in time. I want to take care of everybody's needs. I want to make sure that we have a good time. And if you guys can do me a favor, just say hello in the chat. Let me know that you guys are here. Does that sound cool? I hope it does. And thank you one more time for showing up here and making TeacherCast your home of professional development. A little bit about me. My name again is Jeff Bradbury. I am a New Jersey native, growing up in the Philadelphia area, been in education for the last 20 years. Started off as a music teacher, got into edtech about 10 years ago or so. It's when I created TeacherCast. And I recently moved to Connecticut with my now 7.5-year-old triplets, and they have grown up as digital citizens, digital natives, and they're actually right now helping me also in this whole website realm. I mentioned 10 years ago, I created the TeacherCast Educational Network. We're going to talk a little bit about that, what it is, what it does, how it can help you guys out, because I have been on a mission for the last 10 years to help teachers build their EDU brands. I've been on a mission to help you as a company build your brand. I've had an opportunity to work with the world's largest companies: Google, Microsoft, Apple, Hewlett Packard, you name it. I've had the opportunity to really work with them and to help out so many teachers. And I'm so thrilled to spend some time with you guys today. I don't see anybody in the chat yet, but if there's anybody out there listening, do me a favor, just again, say hello. We are here to help you guys out today. And at the end of this, I have some very special things. We had a lot of great success in our last episode where we talked a lot about building your brand through marketing. And today we're going to be expanding on that. If you stay to the end, I'm going to give you guys a special link so that way you guys can download my very special Building Your EDU Brand checklist, everything that you guys need to do and learn to build a great website, build a great brand, and help you guys out with your marketing. So stay tuned. We're going to be here for about 45 minutes to an hour or so, and we're going to go through all of those things. Ah, question function. I don't see where the questions are, but feel free to either let me know where the questions are. I'd be happy to go through everything. All right. So let's kind of go through. 10 years ago, I woke up, it was a weekend, and I had this concept. I had this concept to create a vehicle to be able to help out other teachers. I was a podcaster, I was a music teacher, and I was working with a guy who was doing a website, doing a podcast, basically out there showing people how to use their Macs. It's actually called Your Mac Show. And I love the way that he was able to take every little button on his Mac, this was 10 years ago, and show off what it was. Small screencasts, some videos that, doing the podcast. I met him, we teamed up, we created a podcast ourselves. And around March, April, I was talking to the guy and said, I have this idea where I want to do something exactly what you're doing, but I want to do it for teachers. And instead of showing off Macs, I want to show off educational apps and curriculum and technology and all those different things. And it was around that time where he and I sat down and he says, look, if you're going to do this, go do this. Now, maybe your story is similar. You had a mentor, you said, I'd like to go. And he said, great, here's the sponge, here's the car, wax on, wax off, go have a good time. And in 2011, we launched TeacherCast. Now, it wasn't my first website. I've been doing websites since I was 15 and had an opportunity to work with a lot of companies. And was really the first time I was able to step out. And I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the progression that we're in here, because today we're really looking at where's your website now, where's your website going, and what would your website want to be when it looks like in the future here. So you can kind of see here on the left, I have, that's 10 years ago for TeacherCast. I was basing it on an iPhone, lots of applications. Each one of those, would you believe, actually opened up into its own website itself. I started off on a platform called Sandbox. I don't even know if the company's still around, but it was neat. It was easy. It was Mac. It was kind of like uh, Apple's iWeb, but Pro. Um, I didn't know what I was doing, so I had a good time with it. I quickly in 2012 shifted over into WordPress, which is the screen you see there on the left, and realized that if I can make one WordPress site, I can make 25. So I actually was running TeacherCast by running teachercast.net, blogs.teachercast, media.teachercast, podcast. And I started learning how to make domains. I made a lot of mistakes. We got into the middle, which was the first time that I really started to consolidate TeacherCast. You can see the logo's similar, right? Apple, Mortarboard, TC, but we shifted things around a little bit. Started learning about Google, started learning about SEO, and as you can see, still kind of jumbled, not quite there yet, but I started to have an idea. I started to see where things can go. And finally, we land on what the website looks like right now. And I want to walk you through everything. And if you have any questions, let me know. We're here to I'm more than happy to sit and deep dive into any of these things. And I want to make sure that we're here for you guys. So the website is teachercast.net. And what we're going to do today, I'm going to give you the entire agenda, because really today we started talking about the 10 things. But if you look on the list here, we've got a lot of things in here. We're going to talk about focuses. We're going to make sure that you have a face. We're going to talk about well-defined office suite. I want you to know what these things are. We're going to talk about branding. We're going to talk about menus. We're going to talk about landing pages, contact forms, email marketing. And then the thing that I hear a lot is, how do I build a community? How do I get a membership site? So guys, if there's any questions, let me know. If not, we're just going to jump right in, if that's okay. Or do we have any questions at the start of here?
Got, if you open the question panel, it seems like there's a few people that posted their websites to see if they could get you to look at them and reference them. But
I have a questions panel, but I don't have anything popping out at the questions panel yet. I do have the chat. So if you
I'll copy them and paste them in the chat for you.
Okay. So now they're starting to populate. I see Marissa's here, Sarah's here, Kevin, Ben. Guys, thank you. Keep the questions coming, and if you can just help me out and steer me, push me around. Today really is about push the podcaster around. Let's get started here. Okay. We want to look at making a website. Now, a website needs to have one thing. If it's going to have anything, it needs to have one thing. It needs to have a focus, right? So I want you to ask yourself, what is the focus of your website? Now, there's only two answers to this question. So I want you to think about, what is the focus of your website? It's either all about me, or it's all about you. Say that again. The website's either all about me. This is my site, my blog. Here's my resume. Here's what I do. Look at these great things. Here's my awards. Aren't I the best person? Hire me. Look at me. I'm amazing. Here we go. Or it's all about you. What can I do for you? What are you searching for? What are the questions that you have, and how can I answer them? What are the things that you want to learn, and how can I help you on that journey? And here's the cool part. There is no right answer to this. There's also no wrong answer to this. Your websites are going to have multiple things. Maybe different pages have multiple focuses. But generally, a website's going to fall into one of those things. So I've got a question for you. We're going to take a quick pause. Tell me, what is the focus of your website? Is it all about me, or is it all about you? Let me give you a quick tour here because I'm answering that in two different ways. This is the front page of TeacherCast. I've created TeacherCast, as you can see right here up on top. Let me know if you can see the mouse pointer. From the day that I created this to now, 10 years and 19 days later, it has always said a place for teachers to help other teachers. That's my focus. This is a place where we're going to come together and we're going to learn. And how do we do that? We do that through blogs. We do that through audio. We do that through video. We do that through professional development. We do that through webinars. We are here to help you. And one of the ways that we do that is we're creating an experience for teachers that are going to walk them through their journey to learn, to get, and to feel everything that they want to have. You can notice up here, we'll talk a little bit about this. We've got a nice, simple landing page. Up on top, we've got a nice call to action. And it says right here, what do you want to learn about? Right? So even from here, and it's above the fold, or it's right in the middle of the fold, depending on your device, your tablets and stuff. And, please do me a favor, look at this on your computer screen, look at this on your laptop screen, look at this on your iPad screen, look at this on your phone screen. I've designed it so that way it's optimized for every different platform. So if you look at this on your phone, you're not going to see this top, you're not going to see my face. It's just, you're not even going to see all this stuff up here. It's just going to start with these posts. So the whole entire idea for the front page is I'm trying to make it welcoming. What would you like to learn about? Now, I've got 5 different strands on here because I'm a little nutty. I wouldn't recommend it. I always say focus on things. But what would you like to learn about today? Do you want to learn how to build your brand? It's where we talk about marketing, branding, web development, things like that. Do you want to learn about instructional technology coaching, creating a podcast, improving your website, or edtech? So right off the bat, I'm helping that person get on that journey. And we're going to talk as we go through of what's the next steps, what's the behind the scenes. You'll notice the next thing in here is join our community. I want you to be a part of this group. I want you to come and support, be a teacher that's here to help other teachers. Then I've got some featured news and updates. You notice everything is branded, all the colors, all the logos, all the images are there. Then I have social proof. Okay. Then we've got our featured podcast. I'm separating the written from the audio. I've got more social proof. And then all the way tucked down here at the bottom, I've got the Hey, Jeff's a great guy. Right? I've got some logos, things that are kind of in that, hey, this is why you want to come back. This is why you're bookmarking this. These are the people who have kind of noticed me. Wouldn't you like to do all this stuff too? And then at the bottom, I've got a call to action. Hey, let's work together, make a call. But that's not it. If you get yourself all the way to the bottom, I've got 4 buttons, and these things get hit more than anything else on the website. It says, I need help with. Again, this whole entire front of the website is designed to get you to either say, I need help with, or I'd like to learn about. And then at the bottom, we've got these, and I put them there because nobody clicks on stuff on the bottom, and there's a lot of words. So it's kind of filler. But, if you want to get down there, you can see all the different landing pages. We'll show you all that. So this website right here is all about you, the audience, the active user, and it's what we call a landing page. And when I'm looking at this, the next thing that we want to be looking at is a face. What is that face? What is that brand? You'll notice up here, I've got a nice logo. I recommend for anybody out there who's listening, you need to have 2 different logos. I know that sounds weird. Why 2? Well, you need to have one that's a rectangle, and that's what this is. If I pull this around, you can see it's a rectangle. It's set for up here. But also, you need to have a square logo that's going to go on all of your social media. And if you look here, this is my square. There's actually 2 squares here. There's the square with the words, or there's just the square that is the apple itself. So I've kind of made 3 different logos, depending on what we're looking at, depending on what we're doing. Do me a favor, in the chat, does this make sense? Am I weird? Do you have any questions? And please feel free. I'm going to do a quick pause because I want to show you not how not just how TeacherCast is made for you, but how I've changed the focus and I've got an all about me website. So Dylan, are there any quick questions for us?
Moment.
Okay, feel free to make them up too, man. All right, so next thing we're going to do is I'm going to flip this because on one hand, TeacherCast was designed for you, but how do I show off me? How does your website show off you? Well, if I click over here, you notice I have another rectangle that has my name and it says educator, speaker, broadcaster. This is similar. This has the same branding, but I flipped it. Different colors, but this is like Jeff's website. This is actually where you go to if you go to jeffbradbury.com. Similar, you get the same feeling. It's all part of that same website factory, but this is different. This is the, hey, look at me, here's where I am. Every single page, if you're a content creator out there, needs to have a nice page dedicated to you. It's the #1 page that Google will find, right? Notice at the top, I have my name. I even have a different logo for myself. Okay. And right here on the top, it has my name. I see so many people getting this one wrong. And if I can get in a soapbox here for 30 seconds, I see so many people up in their menus say about me or about. And remember, Google starts at the top and starts moving things down. So I don't say about, I say, who is Jeff? Because if you're going to do a Google search for me, you're not going to put the word about. You're not going to put the word I. You're not going to type in the word me. You're not going to type in the word us. You're going to type in my name, or you're going to type in the word TeacherCast. So right up here from the start, my name is the first thing that Google's going to search for. I've got some nice keywords in here, and then I've got the full thing, TeacherCast Educational Network. This is nice for multiple reasons. Number one, if anybody ever says, I need a quick bio, it's right here. It's like 50 words, all awesome. It's got a lot of Google-ness to it, but also this is for the search engines to look at. Okay. You can see as we go down here, I've got my TED Talk, I've got a bunch of other things, and then these are more of the personal blogs. Like they're not the ed tech things, they're more of the personal things. Again, social proof, featured podcasts, and then I just kind of copied it. So I wanted to show you guys the difference here between this page is about you and this page is about me. Maybe that's going to give you guys some ideas of how you're going to create your own thing. So I want you to make sure, number one, you have a focus. If nothing else, if you don't get anything else today, what is that focus? Who is your audience? On the TeacherCast page, and you know, if you guys know me, some of you guys do, I ask the question a lot. Who is your audience? What do they want? How are you getting it to them? How are you giving it to them? And then how are you getting them back? Right? Okay, I've come, I want to learn about technology coaching. I've gotten my stuff. Thanks. See you later. What are you doing for that repeat business? This site here is all about you, as opposed to this site here, which is the resume site. How do I get you to come back to me for hiring purposes, for working purposes, for opportunity purposes, things like that? Building your mousetrap. I'm just going to go because I know a lot of you guys are here because you want to make your personal site, your personal this. Under who is Jeff, my larger bio. And make no doubts about it, I take advantage of how cute the kids used to be. They're 7. This was when they were like 4 or 5. But hey, you got a cute bunch of kids. Put them in masks and a Batman costume and have a good time with it. So again, at the bottom, I need help with, because most people are going to come here, and then at the bottom, it's, oh, I need help with, and then this flips them over to the other side. Blogs pretty much says itself. Media coverage, always have a media page talking about the different things, different links, you know, things like this are going to be on that media page. Speaking, hands-on workshops. In other words, it's the all about me page. Make sure that these things are out there. Make sure that these things are being spread around. Make sure that your page has your name all over it. And so we're there. But I want to get off of this because the next thing I want to talk about is that back end to things, right? We're going to talk a little bit about landing pages in a second, but really, when you're doing this for 10 years, when you're doing it for 1 year, some people out there I know are building this for the first time. you need to make sure you're organized. Now, let me ask you this in the chat, in the questions, wherever you want to go, scale of 1 to 5. Let's make it easy. 1 to 5. 1 being I'm 100% not organized. My digital Google files are a mess. I don't even talk to me about this. To a 5, which is, dude, I am perfect at this. I'm good. 1 is horrible. 5 is great. Where are you guys on that digital organizational scale? Dylan, I'm going to bring you in here. I'm going to put you on the spot, my friend. Scale of 1 to 5. Where are you on that digital organizational chart?
Personally say like a 4, and it looks like the audience is averaging about a 4 as well.
Okay, that's awesome, right? When you're putting this together, you need to be organized. Now, when I say that, if you're writing a blog, where are you writing it? Are you writing it in Google? Are you writing it on your website? Are you writing it in a doc? How are you doing that stuff? When you're making your images, your featured images here, where are you doing that? Okay? I want to show you guys a transformation that happened last year. I started off, and for 9 years, I was building everything in Google. And, what ends up happening? Your drive gets messy no matter how many folders you have. Your inbox gets messy no matter how many filters you have. Your images are all over the place no matter how. Come on, guys, I see you shaking your head out there. You know I'm talking to you. There's nothing wrong with Google Drive. I love it. I'm a Google trainer. I all that good stuff. But I switched myself last summer over to the Microsoft 365 environment. And the reason why, and I'll say this really quickly, is I find that Google is many, many apps, whereas I find Microsoft is one application. And if you look at it, this is my little soapbox, but they call it Google Apps for Education or G Suite or whatever they're calling it these days. Multiple things, whereas they call it Office. One application. So I want to show you guys the insides of TeacherCast. I'm going to do this really quickly here. And I started putting everything of mine into Microsoft Teams. If you like Teams, let me know. And Teams essentially is a roof that happens to be seen and used by, what are they just announced 280 million people every month or something like that. But you'll notice over here, I started creating a team for TeacherCast. Let me see if I can zoom in on here. And if I look at a team is essentially a hard drive built on SharePoint. This isn't that conversation, but inside of that hard drive, you've got folders, and each one of those folders is a channel. So if you look at this, I have a folder called TeacherCast, and then inside of there, I've got channels for each of the different things. And when a channel gets to be too big, or if I'm working with other people, I'll actually create another team. And that's where I came here to having a team just for my Ask the Tech Coach stuff, which I share with my co-host. Nobody has access to this, so I'll close it, but people do have access to this. Now, inside of here, we've got our general channel where we talk back and forth. We've got our podcasting channel where inside of here, I've got my files. I moved everything from Google over to here. I've got my templates. I've got my graphics. Everything is organized in here. Not only is it organized into teams, but it's also organized into Microsoft Planner. Step back. This is how TeacherCast is organized. This is Microsoft Planner. It's if you've seen one task management system, you've seen them all. But essentially, every column is a different show, is a different content strand. In each of these little buckets, I've got tags and things like that. Now, what does this have to do with websites? Good question. Everything in here is color categorized for me. So that way I know that if I'm going to be, for instance, going into my audio platform to put together an audio podcast, I'm going to do that times 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to say, all right, I'm making my show notes. I'm going to do it times all of my episodes. I'm going to do it times all of my podcasts. This has kept me organized. And because everything in here has a date, I now have everything on a calendar of when it starts, when it's over. And inside of here, I'm just going to take, let's see, this one here. You'll notice this is a newsletter post. I've got all the different tags. I've got when I started, I've got when it's due, and I've got a checklist of the entire production schedule. This is how TeacherCast runs. People say, well, how do I do it all? This is it, right? When I'm working with people, I write everything down on here. I have a bucket, I have a priority. Everything goes into Microsoft To Do. And so I go from the calendar stuff into here. This is my daily ritual. You can see I've got to update this thing, but all these things in here are how I run the website. It's organized. I have a form. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, this form goes into a few things. It goes into an email, it goes into a Teams note, and it also goes into a spreadsheet. So I just keep everything organized. All my videos go into Microsoft Stream for a multitude of reasons. It organizes. I don't have to keep video on my hard drive. It transcribes everything for me. I can do anything that I want, and it keeps things organized. And so if you're gonna make a website, long and short, you gotta stay organized. You gotta get organized. You don't want to be turning around and going, ooh, my Google Drive is a little bit messy. I'm talking to you, right? You want to make sure that it's all there. So without going too far under the hood, you gotta have a good and well organized office suite. There's no way that TeacherCast can run. There's no way that your business can run. If you look at any business, right? Like put it this way, ever ask a handyman to come over or to give you a quote on something? Like, you know, the people that are organized with emails and working websites and working everything else, and you know the people that will take a picture and send you a text message of a quote. Who are you going to hire? So I keep everything organized. That's not speaking from personal experiences over the summertime. So we talked about a focus. We talked about having a face. We talked about the importance of social proof. We talked about having a well-organized office suite. Consistent branding. Do you know what your colors are? Do you know your hex color? Do you know your font? Come on, I'm talking to you. What's your font? I love one application that I use every single day. It's called Canva. This isn't new. We all know Canva, but why do you love Canva? Number one, nothing else right here, brand kit. I've got all my logos. I've got all of my colors. If I hover over this, it gives me the hex code. I've got all of my fonts. I can even upload more. Every single thing that I'm doing, it's all right here. I might not even be making graphics, but I will open this thing up and grab a hex code and run with it, whether it be in here, in Final Cut, in WordPress, in whatever. Everything in here is all done and organized. You'll see here the Jeff Show. Everything is designed, it's organized, and it's all, I don't have another word, man. It's all organized, and you have to be, or else you're going to be able to not find things. Everything, as you can see here, it says JBS, 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 or ATTC for Ask the Tech Coach. Everything is organized, so that way all I have to do is come up here and hit search, and I can find things by the episode, by the title, by the particular show. All the fonts are the same. All the colors are the same. It's important. It is absolutely important. And the same thing goes on the website. You'll notice over here, I'll just show you a little bit. This is my coaching stuff. You'll notice it's that teal blue and the background is the background. My Jeff stuff is a little bit darker blue and the background changes a little bit. The font changes a little bit. All of my, let's see. TeacherCast stuff, different blue, different colors, different, but everything has a theme. And that gets us to our next thing about having clearly defining landing pages, right? You notice over here, I've got 5 different strands for building your brand, your coaching, all those things. If I break this out, here's my coaching page. Notice the menu is now that teal. The background is my coaching background. I've got the 5 things here, very similar to the front, but it's all different. If I click over here into my podcasting stuff, the colors change, the menus change. It is a theme of doing this. This is all done on the same website. I don't have separate websites anymore, but everything is here. If I click onto my branding stuff, you'll see the blue is colored. You notice, in other words, when you're looking at some kind of content on the website, you should be able to notice who it is, what it is, where it is, and how to find it. Now, Is anybody going to notice this on social media? No. Do I do it to humor myself? A little bit. But at the same point in time, I want it to look professional. I want it to look organized. So if you're starting off, and I know one of you are, um, what do you want your brand to be? What do you want your stuff to look like, right? How are you going to walk people through? This is my branding page. And we talked earlier. What's your site? Who's it for? How are you helping them? And how do they contact you? And how do they get more information? So the first things here, do you want to build your brand? Am I speaking to you? Do you want to go on this journey? If you do, hey, I got a free course. I'm going to identify my audience. Let's face it, building your brand is hard work. What am I going to do? Well, are you somebody that needs to identify your audience, understand your avatar? Kind of that stuff we did in our last webinar here together. Are you looking to build a community? Let's work together. Here's an online course. Again, we have our call to action, we have our website, clicks, and then finally, what are others saying, things like that. So there's a lot of different things that we're doing on each of these. If I pull up the podcasting page, it's the same thing. Do you want to work together? Do you want to subscribe? Here's all of our stuff. I've even gotten this broken down into student podcasting and and professional podcasting. You can see slightly different background, but again, here's the journey that you're on if you want this particular content thread. Pick up my free stuff, book a phone call with me. I got you covered. Do you need it? And how we're dealing with things. So making sure you have that, having a clearly defined navigational system we talked about is also important. And before I go into the second half of this, Dylan, how are we doing? Any questions?
I had one question from Merit Software. He just wanted to know, how do you handle multiple brands?
How do you handle multiple brands? You have to stay organized. You know, I've got you have to define it, right? If I go back to what TeacherCast used to look like, um, the sad part was a year into TeacherCast, I was at an ISTE conference and somebody came up and said, I don't know who you are, but I heard your voice and I know it was you. And I listened to your show. Hey, it's awesome. Who are you? And I realized after this person told me, I did 50 podcast episodes and I never mentioned my name. And because if you ever hear me speak, I'm always saying it or they or we. The website is often referred to as we. We do this, me and the website. And it wasn't until recently, a couple years ago, but still recently, I decided to put founder of, which was a huge thing. And then it was CEO of. And I went, okay, that's different. And then you start thinking like a business person. It's not the website. This is your business. You have built this brand. This is what's actually feeding your children. This is what's actually paying your mortgage. So it's not we. And you realize very quickly, it's not we, it's me. TeacherCast is my brand. I'm not TeacherCast's brand. Yes, the website is my heartbeat. There's a reason it's here. It is me. But you realize very quickly that the brand has to be you. Now, look, if you're a marketing person and you're working for a company and they've got multiple brands, like let's say that you were the marketing agent for TeacherCast and you had to deal with the podcasting brand and the coaching brand, the answer is you have to stay organized. You have to keep things separately. I've got multiple Twitter accounts where I will only post podcasting stuff on the podcasting Twitter account. I will only post coaching stuff on the coaching site. But as a content creator, you realize that all of this stuff actually falls under the umbrella of it's the Jeff brand. And that's why it actually took a long time for me to convince myself to put my name up here on the top. It went from I didn't have a name to I was on the bottom. If I jump back to this in 2011, notice all the way down here, it says web design by, as if the person who owns TeacherCast hired Jeff to make the website. That's different, right? On the top here on the middle one, it actually says Jeff's homepage on the top left. That was a huge shift. And then obviously notice now I've got my face on the thing and you can't get rid of me. So it's a shift to realize that the multiple brands all happen, but you are the brand. They're calling to work with you. You are the thing. You, when I say build your EDU brand, I'm not saying build your website's EDU. I'm saying you build your brand out here, and here's how you do those things. So I hope that answers the question. And if you want me to do more follow up, I'm certainly happy to. I'm just looking at the clock right now. So um, let's kind of take a step to the side here. We talked about the focus, the face, social proof, organizing, branding, navigation, landing pages. I want to just kind of quickly hit these things, and then I want to open it up to Q&A. When I say strong contact form, many websites have their own contact form plugin. Here's my WordPress site, and I've got contact form this, I've got this or that. I hate them. I hate them all. If I go to your website and I fill out the contact form, you might get an email that says, Jeff has, well, if you've got 1,000 things in your inbox, am I going to really make a dent? Okay, so you've got it hooked into some kind of a system where you get a ding or a something. Doesn't work for me. I've got so many things going on. If I show you one of my contact forms, it looks like this. Let's work together. Notice it doesn't say contact me. I don't want you to contact me. I want us to work together. I'm very, very clear on that, right? Dylan comes to my website and wants to find me, and I go, great, let's work together, right? Would you like me to, and of course, notice what I've got here. Would you like somebody to speak? I'm already selling myself, but I'm doing it through the value proposition. Do you want somebody to work at your event? Or do you have a question? In other words, this is where I flip it. The first one's all about me. The second one's all about you. And then the next thing is, are you looking to put your stuff in front of my audience? So automatically in these three things, I've actually gotten all of my people. I've got the person coming who wants to hire me. I've got the person in the ed tech world who has a question and needs help. And I've also got the PR agent who's coming and saying, I've got a client and I want them featured on TeacherCast. Well, if you've got three different audiences coming in, that's when this page breaks off. Do you want to feature me at a live event? Great. How can I help you? And when I click on that, it opens up a form. Do I want to schedule a one-to-one? Check my calendar. And when I do that, it opens up my booking page, which again shows you all the different things. It's got some great pictures. It's got some prices on here. And then having my company be featured on TeacherCast. Again, these three questions equals these three things. But let's pretend that you don't read. I now have the website contact page where if I go down, are you a, and this segments everything out. Are you a teacher? Are you a business? Are you a conference organizer? So that way I know how desperate this email is that I need to get back to it. If I, and so I, I'm I'm an educator, and here's questions. I'm interested in being a guest. My role is, what's my website? If I break that back into public relations, it now has another form in here that says, here's my name, here's my company, here's the client that I'm representing, let's talk. If I break this back into I'm a podcaster, it says, who are you? What's the name of your podcast? What's the Twitter? And when would you like me to be on the show? In other words, it's not a single form. You don't even realize the spider chart that I'm showing you guys right now, but it's all designed to give you what you need. As soon as you say next, I say, what's on your mind? You hit submit. What happens? Number one, I get an email. Two, well, what happens if I forget the email? What if I don't see the email? What if it goes to spam? It's also designed so that way when you click on here, it automatically goes into my team. It automatically goes into my business tab. And you can see here, these here are all people that have filled out my contact form, and they're right here in Teams all waiting for me. So no matter what, I'm going to be able to see you. And if I accidentally hit that delete button, it's all here. And then on top of that, it also does a few other things. Again, it goes into a spreadsheet and stuff. Bottom line is, I want to make sure that I'm getting back to you within 24 to 48 hours. If you're going to make a website, you need to have a definition of who your audience is. You need to have a definition of what they want, how you're going to help them. And then how are you going to start this conversation? How do you bring them in to your family? And the other way that we're going to talk about doing that is through our email marketing. Now, if you go back in the archives, we do have a great webinar all about email marketing. And if you click over on our website, it's just buildyouredubrand.com. We've got a lot of different things, but email marketing is at its core how you're going to be getting people. Everybody has an email. And how are you going to get them? How are you going to make sure that they like, know, and trust you? It's all about having these clear calls to actions. Here's my 90-day email marketing challenge. If I click over here, I've got this nice little thing. We've got stuff going on. If I click up here on the top, register for my online course. If I click on coaching, it's let's work together. There's always something that you can click on that's going to help me help you. If I click on, let's see, if I come back over to here, if I'm looking for videos, right? I want to learn about Google Forms. I'm here because I like Google Forms. I want to learn about Google Forms. Well, guess what? Give me your name and email address, and I'm going to send you 3 Google Forms templates. So that way everybody knows these things. I said this before, I'll say it again. This is the best way that you can create an opt-in form. You ask for their first name only. You don't ask for their last name. You ask for their email address. You need that. But here, you want to ask, who are they? I'm a coach, I'm a teacher, I'm an administrator, librarian, college, university, other, or podcaster. And depending on what form you're looking at, I have those in different orders. So if this was on a podcasting page, podcaster would be up on top. If this was a general ed tech page, teacher would be up on top. And all that's doing is that's giving me your first name, your email, and I'm segmenting you in ConvertKit, which is my email marketing platform of choice. And so that way I can send something out to everybody, or I'm only going to send things out to the people who have identified themselves as coaches. And so that way you want to make sure, and again, I could talk your ear off about email marketing. We did that a few months ago, and I'd be happy to do so again. But making sure that email marketing has that call to action, has those lead gen items. You'll notice one of the things that's on the website here is all over the place too, instructional coaching, free resources. Right? If I click on free resources, you want to download this, you want to download this. It's all free stuff to get people's names and emails and stuff. Everything that I've done on here, let's see, free coaching templates, record podcast, let's work together. There's a lot of these different things in here, but it's all, here's some free stuff. It's all about the freebies. The last thing I want to show you guys is a membership site. And I have a few membership sites with the various things. I've got Facebook groups. That's the easiest thing. But I've also got a membership site. I'm going to show it to you briefly here because some of the stuff on here is like personal to the people. But I'll do this. This is built on a platform called Mighty Networks. It's free. There is a paid upgrade. Not going to lie, it's expensive. I'm on the free version. I have no plans to go off. But essentially, this is a nice, safe place that doesn't have the words face or book in it. And I've got a couple hundred tech coaches. We offer extra things. We do a tech coach roundtable meeting on the weekend, on Wednesday nights during the school year. We offer support. If I don't want to open up the wrong things here, but everything's got notifications on here. And if I pull up some stuff, I have personalized one-to-one conversations with these coaches. And it is a nice place. I'm not charging for this. It is a safe place where coaches can get together and talk about coaching things. I support this through the podcast. I support this through the YouTube videos. And by support, I mean, I gather people to this. In order to get to this, they have to go through a form. I could just give them the sign up on the website. Here's the Mighty Network invite, go, and now you're in, like everybody else does. I do things a little different. I have a form for many reasons, because now I have your first name, your last name, your email, school district, Twitter, LinkedIn. I have all the, are you seeking employment? I have, are you a teacher? What's your title? Are you interested in being a guest? What am I doing? Number one, I'm collecting data. Two, I'm collecting show topics. If I know that there's a lot of people right now in the network that are seeking employment, you bet I'm going to be doing topics like that on the blog, on the podcast, on the videos. So I'm actually letting you guys tell me what topics you want without actually spending the time to ask you what you want. I'm just giving all this stuff to you guys. What's your position? Have you ever used Microsoft Teams before? I put that on there because I want to know where people are. And also, I run all of my meetings through Teams as opposed to Zoom or some other platform. So there's a lot of stuff that I gather from this and from these charts, and it all goes back into the website. So if I can go back forward here, all of that data, all of that organizing, all of that back end, all that Microsoft planning stuff, all of that calls to action is 100% what would you like to learn about? Because if you click on here and you don't find the answer, I'm doing a bad job at getting the information so you can have it. And I hope this worked out. I want to say thank you for everything in here. I did promise you guys some freebies, but I think we got through everything. Dylan, I'm not done yet. There's still more, but how are we doing?
It seems like they're agreeing with what you're saying and just saying that it makes sense, all the points you're making.
Are there any questions? I'm certainly happy. I see some websites. If there's anybody who has a website that's like, can you please take me through my website, or can you pick on me for a couple seconds? I'd be happy to turn it into that. I haven't gotten a question answer showing up since 524. So if there is any, if there's like maybe one website we can go through, would love to. Let me know. I'm in your hands for the next couple seconds, and then I want to wrap up because this is the important slide here. I've got a website there that I want everybody to check out and connect with me for everything here. So is there a website that people want? Is there anything that I can do? I want to wrap up today because I promised you guys a couple things. And if I can offer this, the website is teachercast.net /build your edu brand online course. Dylan, if you can help me out with that. Check it out. You can download all of my freebies. You can download stuff from this website. And you also can sign up to work with me and good stuff like that. So check all that stuff out. We would love to have you as part of the network, and you can sign up for our Facebook page and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to a great summer ending. I don't know, kind of feel weird, like I'm just starting my summer. I hope you guys are okay. But if you're just getting started, I'm here to help. And Dylan, thank you for a great hour. And as I say at the end of all my shows, thank you for joining us here on the TeacherCast Educational Network. Keep up the great work in your classrooms and continue sharing your passions with your students. So thank you guys for having me.